I'm going to now show you how to use the Paint Weights tool. This is a great interactive way of seeing your joints and your points and how they're connected, your vertices, and then you can adjust the settings of how much influence each joint has on that vertice by actually painting the value as opposed to using the component editor. All right. When I want to do things like the ankle or you know, the chest area that I'll do here in just a second, I like to use a component editor just because it's easy to grab all the points and attach them to a bone. There's no questions of did I get them or not. When we're doing something with the hips, it needs to be a little more interactive. So we'll select the surface, and let me get out of component mode here. So we got the surface selected. We're going to go to Skin, Edit Smooth Skin, okay, and we're going to scroll over to Paint Skin Weights tool. Open that up. And newer versions of Maya has this color-coded joint system. When we asked to colorize the joints, we kind of got this feedback. For those of you who don't like that, this new setting, you can actually go into the attribute editor here, open up Display, and you can turn off multicolor feedback. Okay, so at this point, let's say we're working with the right ankle, it's black and white. White represents 1, black represents 0. The grays in between represent some number in between that range. Okay, like I said, I like the multicolor feedback. I think it's a little more intuitive and a smarter system. Just I can see the influence a little bit easier. All right, let's take a look at our hips here. Okay, we got this moving back and forth like this. Okay, and I'm just going to work on one side here. I notice that some of these points are kind of going all over the place. So let me select the correct joint here. This is going to be the left hip. Okay, we'll start there. Now, my minimum value I want to set to -1. And the current value that I'm going to be adding, I want to do something really small like 0.2. And I'm going to choose Add. So what that means is every time I go over this area, I'm going to add 0.2 amount of influence, getting it closer and closer to 1. Okay, and if it's 1, then it's fully connected to that joint. So we'll just add a little bit of influence here. Actually, let me undo that. Okay, I'm just going in and adding some of this to that hip that's right there. Okay, and above the hip, let me scroll up here. I actually have a full hip joint right there as well. So I'll go ahead and add a little bit of influence there. So let's see how this looks. Okay, and I'm just slightly clicking. Okay, just spreading out that influence. Let me scroll back down to the left hip. Okay. See here, I've got a little bit of influence that needs to come over. Nice. Okay. So that is a very, very fast and easy way to paint your influence. Okay, and you can see, let me get out of this here. You can see from here how much more organic the left side looks as opposed to her right side. Okay, so depending on how you want to work, this will get you a lot of control in painting and doing it a little more interactive. And if you use a Wacom tablet, you can adjust it to pressure. There's a lot of really cool things that you can do. All right, now let's get the animation off of this control. I take everything back to the first frame, select the control here, and we'll just highlight the channels, right-click, break connections. Okay, throws that away. All right, let's do the same with the shoulders. Actually, let's do the chest in the next lesson.